is Parakeh Halacha Dalet, still talking about Rebbe and Talmud issues. B'chol Talmud shlo higia lahura umoreh harizeh shoter rasha b'gas ruach. Wow. If somebody paskins when they're not appropriate to paskin, like we said yesterday, they don't think it's a shaila above them, so then that's a problem. They are a fool, wicked, because they might cause people to sin, v'gas ruach, and haughty. V'alav nemer ki rabim chalol lemipila, v'chein chachem shigia larav eino moreh, harizeh monei Torah, v'nosim v'cholos l'vnei ha'ivrim. And what about the opposite? If somebody should be paskining and they don't, such a delicate balance. Somebody who shouldn't be paskining and they're paskining, somebody who should be paskining and they don't, that's also terrible, because you're withholding Torah. Harizeh monei Torah, and you put stumbling blocks in front of the blind, right, from the words lifnei iver. V'alav nomar v'atzumim kol harugeh. It's based on a Gemara. Elu atalmidim aktanim shlo hirbu Torah karaui. They mefakshim lehisgadel b'fnei ha'aretz. People who are not appropriate, they should be the students, but they're taking the mantle of leadership. Ubein anshe yiram b'kofsim b'yoshim barosh ladun laharis b'Yisrael. The goal of life is not to be a posek, right? Nobody should say, you know what, I'm learning Torah because I want to be a posek. That's not how psak works. Person learns Torah, then they start getting a name for themselves, and memela, they become a posek, right? That's not certain jobs you don't shoot for. I want to be the Rosh Yeshiva. That's my goal. I want to be the Rosh Yeshiva. So it's not, one will never become the Rosh Yeshiva if you really want to be the Rosh Yeshiva. You know, you can want to be a Rebbe. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I want to be a Rebbe. But if somebody is yearning to be in the position, you know, that's not something. I have never wanted to be a principal. I've never wanted to be a Rosh Yeshiva. I just want to be a Rebbe. And, you know, but again, some people aspire to more of the, you know, the other positions and being in charge, and it's administrative. There's a need, but one has to know where their kohos are, and try to find the position that works. Good. Hey, mamar, but these people, hey, mamar b'machlokes v'machrivim esolam v'machabim neirish al Torah. Those who take the mantle when they shouldn't. Strong words. They lead to arguments and destroy the world, and they extinguish achmaso achsulanu shualim tanim mechablim kramim v'karminus madar. Okay, the Shlomo says that not good. We have to know the message of this Rambam, to know our place. Who is the? You with me? You with me still?
Yeah.
Some of you from is about knowing your position, in life, and it's important to know when to be the rabbi, when to be the Talmud, when to be the posek, when to not be the posek, when to ask the questions. Those are all important shilas and important positions, and we should always have people to talk to be able to know our position. Okay, so let's get right into the Gemara now. We'll do another halacha because I want to at least start this sugya, lay some groundwork. Hopefully, you saw some of the marmakomos, and we will continue. So the Gemara says, new sugya, kuf chav ches amud aleph, new sugya, kuf chav ches amud aleph. Remember, this daf has many different topics. Rabbi Abba sends to Rabbi Yosef Bar Chama many different topics. So says the Gemara, Haya yodea lo be'edus karka, right in the middle of the daf. Haya yodea lo be'edus karka ad shelo nistama v'nistama. What happens? Somebody knows edus karka for somebody. Someone knows that, you know, his property, the border goes till a certain spot. And what happens? Then he becomes blind. So he can't say, oh, he goes to this spot. So what do you do? Puzzle. So that's it, stuck. He's blind, he can't be an aid. He's puzzle. Ushmuel Amar Kasher. Shmuel says, no, even though he's blind, he's kasher to give edus here. Why? Efshar de mechavein mitzranaha. there are other ways to give over the borders. He could give another landmark. He could say, you know where that statue is? It's right where that statue goes up to. It's across from this the fence. You could give another way of description. Even if somebody is blind, they're able to describe the borders, mitzranaha, of the field. So Shmuel says, kosher, aval glimalo. But Shmuel says, but if it's about a beged, then you can't describe that with landmarks, metaltalin, and therefore it doesn't work. Even Shmuel says it works. It only works by karka and not metaltalin. For Rav Shesha Samar, I feel a glima. Rav Shesha says, no, even a glima. What do you mean? What could he say about a shirt? It was red. Efshar de machave midas erko umidas rachbo. He could say it's length and width. It was a size 14. What's the issue? It must be a machlokas about some shirt. He says, I know Ruvain. Ruvain had a size 14 shirt with a hole in the bottom left of the shirt. I know exactly. Aval nas chalo. But if it's a piece of gold, no, there's no identifying feature there. That's not good enough. That's the second day. Rav Papa Amar, afilu nascha, even a piece of gold. Efshar de mechavein midas mishkalosav. It's possible to be mechavein how much it weighs. Possible to be mechavein how much it weighs. So different days. Shmuel says only karka, because that's how you can tell, landmarks. Rav Shesha says even jackets, even shirts, and Rav Papa says even gold. Fine, good. Ask the Gemara. Everybody with us? Kuf Chav Chesam and Aleph. Rabbosai, you get more schar learning in this situation. Mikey, you with us? There's more schar learning on Zoom, right? Because it's not so easy. It's not as easy to concentrate when your Rebbe's not in the room with you. So more schar. L'fum tsara agra, right? The more we push ourselves. So we have to. For me too. I'm telling you, it's not simple. It's not simple for anybody in the for anyone. So says the Brisa, yes, Netano. Sorry.
According to Rav Papa and Rav Sheshes, where they have the midas mishkalosav and the size of the beged, how is that a defining feature bechlal? Because if it's like a gold coin, all of them have to be the same. That's a halacha deoraisa. And the size of the beged, it's like if it's a Rebbe's example of the size 14, if everybody wears a size 14, that's not anything special.
Correct. That's why I said size 14 with a hole in the bottom left of it. Something like that. Meaning there has to be right, unless these are Adim that this person had this size 14 shirt and the other person has no Adim that he ever had a size 14 shirt. Right, so we will have to see. That's going to be our issue. Like, what's the defining feature here, and how are you being motzi it? That's going to be part of our issue. So we're going to let's just finish the Gemara, and then we'll come back. So says the Gemara: if somebody knows Adis before he becomes related, right? Two people witness alone, and then one of the Adim marries into the Malva's family. Mazel tov. But now he can't testify for his relative. So now what? So or he saw Adis and then he became a basuma, or now he's a shot apostle. But you can't give testimony when a person's pasul Adis. Right? So which already that's already the kasha. It's kasha on everybody. It's kasha on everybody. You can't give testimony based on, if you're pasul now. What if you were kosher, then you were pasul, then you were kosher? Right? You saw when you were not related, then the wife died. Or all the cases. You were good when you saw, and you were good at the time of the Haggadah. But you had a problem in between. Kosher, that's okay. That's okay. If somebody is sane and then he becomes a shoteh and then he's sane again, that's okay. Ze'aklav. If a person's pasul either at the time of the re'iyah or at the time of the Haggadah, that's a problem. But Tchilas V'Sova B'Kashmir is kosher. So Tiyufta, turning over, Tiyufta, the Gula Tiyufta, this is a kasha on everybody. Because even Shmuel, the first opinion, says it works by Karka. Even though he's blind now, he could still testify based on the borders, based on landmarks. So says the Gemara, we reject all of these. Tiyufta for all of them. That's the Gemara. So getting back to Natanel's point from before, which is that's what we're going to talk about in this sugya. What does this sugya tell us about simanim? Simanim, identifying features of items. Well, we've discussed in the past Eidim on a lot of different things. This year we discussed Eidim on a Maisa. Eidim witness a murder. Eidim witness an Avera. Eidim on a Kinyan we discussed. Remember way back? Kinyan Chalipin, maybe Chalipin needs Eidim, right? Eidim on Kinyanim, Kiddushin needs Eidim. What about Eidim on Simanim? What does that mean? There are different types of Simanim. We're not going to get totally into that. There's something called the Siman Muvhak, a clear-cut Siman, highest level. There are Siman Emtsoyim, middle type of Simanim. The Gemara talks about this in Mitzias. We're not going to get so into that. But the concept that we're going to talk about is how strong are simanim. If I have Eidim, that I have simanim, is that strong enough to be motzi mamon from someone else? That's our question. That's our question. Meaning what? Let's say, well, let's not talk about it. Let's see who says it. Rabbeinu Yonah. Rabbeinu Yonah on our Gemara. Rabbeinu Yonah, right here in our Gemara, says, what does the Gemara say? The Gemara says that we reject all of these people. Why? Because he's puzzled now. He's blind. Well, let's say he wouldn't be blind. And he would identify size 14 shirt. I know this guy had a size 14 shirt. And the other guy has no Eidim. What's mashma from the Gemara? The Eidim would be believed. It's only because, why do we reject in the Gemara Tiyufta? Because they're puzzle now. But let's say you had regular Eidim. That wouldn't be puzzle. It's mashma that they would be believed. It's a very long Rabbeinu Yonah. We're not going to do the whole thing. You can skim it. But just the beginning of Rabbeinu Yonah. Beginning of Rabbeinu Yonah. He says, Mikol makom shaminan. What do you see? Mikol makom. Midrav Sheishes, Rav Papa, Linyan Eidim Ksherim, Shem Tava es Chaveru Metaltalin, V'Kafar Bahem. I'm Tovea, you have my watch. You have my watch. And the Eidim, and you deny having my watch. And the Eidim testify that I owned a Casio watch with a little crack in the corner, let's say. Or even Stam a Casio watch. Forget the crack in the corner for now. But the other guy has no Eidim that he ever had a Casio watch. I have Eidim that identify that I had a Casio watch. Says Rabbeinu Yonah. Im tavaz chaveru metaltlin v'kafar bahem. V'ha'eidim me'idim shera'u kodem lachem b'yad ha'tovea. They have no idea any type of geneva, but they know, they testify that yesterday we saw this in the Tovea's house. Metaltalin shahayu b'hem simanim hanimtzayim b'metaltim alalu v'ein l'nitva eidim shera'u kailim elu kodem azman shemidin alav. The nitva doesn't have any eidim that he had a watch yesterday. Eide tovea motziin osam min hanitva ve'eda simanim. Rabbeinu Yonah says, simanim can be motzi mamo. That is the yesod of Rabbeinu Yonah. Rabbeinu Yonah says, our Gemara proves that eidim with simanim can be motzi mamon. That's the yesod. Because again, our Gemara only rejects all these opinions because they're pasul now. They're blind. But if they wouldn't be blind, what's mashma? If I can identify the shirt that you're holding, and I say, well, so-and-so had this shirt yesterday, and you have no eidim that it should have been yours, simanim can be motzi mamon. Meaning, what is he saying? We're used to the concept of simanim where? Where do we have the concept of simanim? Where does everybody agree that simanim would work? Levi? Yeah.
By lost objects?
By a lost object, beautiful, by an aveda. By an aveda. I find something, you give identifying features, so that's it. You get it. What's the chiddush of our Gemara? Says Rabbeinu Yonah, even if it's not lost. Even if you're holding it. You're holding an item. I could bring simanim and be motzi it from you. Be motzi it from you. It's not just an idea by Aveda. And there's a long Rabbeinu Yonah. Skip all the way to the end. Rabbeinu Yonah does mention this halacha, though it's true, is very, very tricky. And Bezdin has to be very careful when they paskin. Because why? It leaves a lot of room for harama, for tricksters. Why? Because do you have Adim for everything that you have in your house? You don't have Adim. Maybe I was in your house yesterday. I saw something that, I really like. So I'm going to go get Adim, and I'm going to identify that, or I'm going to have something else like it in my house. I'm going to want yours also. So you don't have Adim for everything. So Bezdin has to take it very slow when they paskin this. It's true. It says in Yonah, Me'ikar Adin, Simanim can be motzi. But he says at the end, you have to be very careful. It works. There are many ways that people could trick. By an aveda, we're not choshesh, but here we might be choshesh to be motzi mamon. So he says it's a chashash, but me'ikar hadin it works. That's Rabbeinu Yonah from our Gemara. Yeah.
But the Edom are saying that this item was in the Tovea's house and they're giving simanim. They're not saying that the item is in the Nitba's house.
They're not. They just know that they know it is in the Nitva's house. We know that. That's not under argument. But this guy brings Adam that I had an item that was exactly like that. And it's really mine. That's what they really like. What's the case in our Gemara? There are Adam that this glima, I'm not saying you stole it. I have no idea how you got into your rishus. But it's mine. I give simanim. That's Rabbeinu Yonah. And this isn't the only Gemara. There are two other Gemaras that we have to learn together. Two other Gemaras. Yavamis and Bamitzia. First Yavamis. Yavamos Kuf Tezvav Mabes. Kuf Tezvav. We're bringing Mashiach. Misachas Ani. Erev Nida Yavamis. Says the Gemara in Yavamis, Kuf Tezvav Mabei, second line on top. Torah's Woodmere, Yehuda, you with us? Hu Gavra, Da Afkid Shumshmi Gabe Chavri. What's the case? I gave you sesame seeds to hold on to be mafkid. Right? Could you hold on to these? They're very special to me. Maybe I don't have a freezer. I want to keep my sesame seeds in the freezer. I put it into your freezer, a bag of sesame. Okay. And then a few days later, I go back to your house and I say, could I please have my shumshimin? It's in a bag in your freezer. Could I please have them? The guy says, well, you took them yesterday. You were here yesterday. I gave them back to you. Already. So I say, no, they're in your fridge in a Ziploc bag, and this is how much it weighs. What are you talking about? You gave it back to me. I know it's in your freezer. And you know what? They go and they open the freezer, and there's a bag. There's a Ziploc bag exactly how I described it. Amar Le, the guy says, no, didach shakal tinu v'hani achrini nu. No. Those are mine. I also put them in the Ziploc bag. You took yours already. You took yours yesterday. So we look at this case. We're like, come on. Really? Right? Really? We would trust the guy to switch them. This is something different. Sava Rav Chisda Lameimar. Remember to tell you a story about the Ksab Sofer. Sava Rav Chisda Lameimar. Hainu Shnei Talmidei Chachamim. This is like the case earlier, which we didn't do. V'lo amrihan hanach azu la'alma v'ani achrinin ninu. We don't say that these went and these are different. Meaning, what should you say here? You should say, come on. This is not a different bag. No, this goes to the mafkid. These, of course, this is the sesame seeds that he dropped off. We don't believe you. Says the Gemara, no. Amarle Rava midami. No. Hasam amri kamri simanim. No. Says Rava, usually if you give simanim, it would work. It would work to take it. Here there's a reisa. Hacha shum shemi my simane is lahu. The problem is by sesame seeds, what kind of siman are you giving? Udakamar kan v'kan having, you said it weighed this much in a Ziploc bag. Imer chlushman is rami. Good guess. Good guess. But it's not a raya that it's yours. You had a good guess. So that's why, in this case, we might not give back the sesame seeds because there's no true identifying sesame seeds. They're all the same. But what's clearly mashma from this Gemara? If there is a good siman, we'd be motzi it. The problem here in Yavamis is that there's no good siman. The sesame seeds are sesame seeds. You can't clearly identify. Okay, there were 1,000 seeds. Good guess. That's how many are in a bag. But mashma from this Gemara, that simanim are not just a concept by Aveda, they're a concept by Rishus as well. To be motzi mama. So our Gemara, this Gemara number 2, and finally the third and final Gemara for us today, Baba Metzia. Baba Metzia. Daf Ayin. Baba Metzia Daf Ayin. In the 5th parak, one of the more challenging prakim in Shas, Ezeo Neshech. Says the Gemara, Ayin Amid Aleph. Ayin Amid Aleph. What's the case? They were talking about the Avak Ribis, right? That's what the 5th parak is all about. Right, you could start with Tana Rabbanan. Tana Rabbanan right in the middle of the Amud. Right, what's real Ribis Daraisa? Most Ribis is Ribis Darabanan, interest. Ribis Daraisa is at the time of the loan, I say, here, you could have 10, you got to pay me back 15. That's mamish Ribis Daraisa. What's called Ribis Kitsutza, set Ribis. But most of the Perek and most cases of Ribis are Avak Ribis, the dust of Ribis, meaning Ribis Darabanan. You give somebody some money to invest for you, but you could only win, you can't lose. So it's not ribis, like he takes upon himself more achrayas. So you're a Russia, says the Gemara. The opposite, you're a chassid. Amalei Rabbaler of Yosef. Hani zuzi diyasmi hechi abdina lahu. If we have money of orphans, what should we do with it? We want to invest it. We want to make sure the orphans are young children. We want to invest it and make sure that their money doesn't disappear. Right? They're not old enough to do it themselves. So what do we do with orphans' money? Says the Gemara. Amar le mosfina luhu beidina. Put it in Bezdin. V'yavina luhu zuza zuza. Give them day by day what they need. Give them day by day what they need. Says the Gemara. Amar le faka kalya karna. The principal is going to get used up. You're going to run out of money. Principal's going to get used up. Amar le mar hechi avid. So what do you think? What's your suggestion? Amar le, says the Gemara, but kinan begavra de isle dava pricha. Find a man who has crushed gold, fragments of gold. What does that mean? He's very rich. Find a man who has fragments of gold, very rich. V'naktinan dava minei. Give the money of the orphans to this guy. Invest with him. Get gold. And have some type of arrangement where the orphans can only win. Even though it's a little like ribbis, but for orphans we'll allow it. But the Gemara, how does the Gemara call the rich man? Someone who have fragments of gold. Why? Why fragments of gold? Because people don't give fragments of gold to watch, says the Gemara. People don't give those to watch. Rashi says, Divanai Shelohein, Ve'enan Pikado. Fragments of gold for sure belong to the guy. They're not Pikado. They're not an object. People don't give those over as a Pikado. The Kiva to Asher, since he's rich, so the orphans aren't going to lose. And the Gemara continues, Aval davar misuyam lo. But if it's an object, then you don't trust that guy's rich. If a guy has a lot of objects, we don't trust that he's rich. Why? Dilma pikado ninu va'asu mare yoav simanim v'shakole. Maybe it's a pikadon, and then the master is going to come and give simanim and take it. What does that show? Simanim can be motzi. It can be motzi mamon, aide simanim. That's the Gemara. If he would have a good siman, he could be motzi mamon. Again, simanim, not only by Aveda, but by someone else. Tosfos here discusses, look at Tosfos, we're not going to do this. Tosfos says, why can't he say, no, I bought it. It used to be yours, but I bought it. Okay, we'll have to get back to that. But these now are three Gemaras. Three Gemaras would seem to say, if you have something and I can give simanim that I had something like that. That's what simanim are. If I give simanim that I had something like that, and you don't have edim that you ever had something like this, then you have to give it to me. You have to give it to me. That's what Rabbi Yonah says in our Gemara, and that is, if you want a summer project, you can look at this shach. This shach, just to open it, if you have a big Shulchan Aruch, it's 5 columns, this shach. I looked at it, and I don't know, it's my chisaron. I looked at it a little bit, and then I kind of said, okay, we're not going to do so much of it in shir. It'll take us a couple of shirim. But anyway, the shach in Simin, Reish, Sadi, Zayin, Sifal. Just to see the shach is amazing. But the shach says there, quoting all these Gemaras, he paskins this way. The shach says, this is what we paskin. Simanim can be motzi mamon, and that's how many achronim also paskin. Great. What's the problem? Laying the framework for the rest of the sugya. The problem is the shita of a number of Rishonim who say that it's not true, that you cannot be motzi ayidei simanim. Right, and then our question is going to be, what do you do with all these Gemaras? Right, these Gemaras seem to say, there's no Shiloh. Of course, you can't be motzi. But there is a Tosfos. Tosfos in Chulin. Tosfos in Chulin. On the Tzadivav. What we're doing is a couple of Gemaras. Trying to put them all together. So today we did 4. Baba Basra, Yavamis, Baba Metzia, and now Chulin. The Gemara in Chulin discusses the concept of Tviyas Eina. Tviyus Ayin and Simanim. It's a fascinating question. What is Tviyus Ayin? And what are Simanim? Remember El Metzias? What are Simanim? Simanim means objective identification marks. Those are simanim. One of the Mefarshim explains simanim are intellectual, tfiyas ayin is emotional. Right? Sometimes you see something, like, oh, those are mine. Right? Let's say once happened by Birchas Kohanim. I remember seeing like the Kohanim, like 6 different pairs of shoes lined up, and they're all pretty similar. But all the Kohanim go and like get their shoes because there's a tfiyas ayin. Tfiyas ayin means there's a recognition. I can't give an identifying feature, but I know that's mine by the looks of it. So the Gemara talks about which is stronger, tfiyas ayin or simanim. That's what the Gemara is going through here. So the Gemara says, well, on the one hand, you could return an aveda with simanim, but not with tfiyas ayin. If somebody comes along and says, that's mine, it's not good enough. So simanim seem to be stronger than tfiyas ayin. But then the Gemara says, maybe not. Maybe not. The Gemara has an interesting line. The Gemara says, how is a suma mutter be'ishto? How is a blind man unable to be with his wife? Or how could people be with their wives at night? They don't know. They can't see. The answer is there's tfiyas ayin on the voice, on the feel. There's a tfiyas ayin, the color of the voice. You can't identify, but you can recognize. So that's the Gemara. Interesting Gemara you can go through, which is a stronger. The Gemara goes through, could you kill somebody based on simanim? Let's see, Adam saw a murder. But they were far away. All they could say is the man was wearing a black shirt with 2 holes on the bottom right of it. And they know that a certain person has a black shirt with 2 holes in it. Do you kill the person based on that? They saw the man. They couldn't see his face, but they know he was wearing a black shirt with 2 holes. And we have Adam that there's only one person in town with a black shirt and 2 holes. Guess what? You're not allowed to kill him. You can't kill based on simanim. But what if two Adam say, we couldn't see so far, but we know it was Ruvain? Tfiyas ayin. It would work. So this is the Gemara. Tfiyas ayin versus simanim. So on that Gemara, the end of Tosas Planya. If you're looking at it, the end of Tosas Planya, Tzadi Vav and Aleph. The Yim Tomar, Heich Machzirin Shtarcho B'Simanim. If I walking down the street and I find a document that says Ruvain owes Shimon $500, and then Shimon comes over to me and says, "Oh, I just dropped my shtar," and I say, "How do I know?" So I say, "No, it has a splotch of ink on the bottom." I give it back. I'm machzer shtarcho b'simanim. Ask Tosfos, how do you do that? V'hayasu sadi v'amri ploni dahai simana lava mi ploni lo mafkinan. If 2 Adam say, we saw somebody lend money, but we were far away, so we only saw a person borrowed money who was wearing this shirt or had this haircut. We didn't see who it was. We would not trust them. We would not trust those Adam. So ask Tosfos, how do we allow the shtar to be returned? If the Adam actually saw the loan, it wouldn't be good enough with simanim. So how do you return the shtar? Answers Tosfos. The Yeish Lomar, this is the important part for us. The lo dami shtar she'ena da muchsak bo she'yomer shaliyu ma'adrina shapir. The shtar is in the street. Nobody's muchsak in it. Nobody's muchsak in it, then simanim works, says Tosfos. You found the shtar in the street. You could give it back based on simanim. Aval mamon shebiyada bailim ein lahotzi aydei simanim. But money in a malva's hands or a lova's hands, you don't be motzi. So too, he wouldn't be motzi an object from bailim. If Adam came, va'amri hahu chayfetz, the high siman of the planyu. If Adam would come and say that so and so's chayfetz, we would not be motzi, says Tosfos. It's only because of shtar chov that was in the middle of the street are we motzi. So that seems to be against all 3 Gemaras that we just learned. Right? Tosfos says beferish. The only time that simanim would work is if you find a shtar chov in the street, nobody's muchzik in it, and the malva could say, give simanim and we can give it back. But if there's mamon in the reshus of a person, then we would not give it back, says Tosfos. Again, al yedei simanim. Ein lahotzi. We're not motzi yedei simanim. The question is, how do we fit Tosfos into all the Gemaras that we just saw? Netano, yeah.
But the case Tosfos is bringing that you do give it back is not a motzi case. It's just a regular case of an aveda. So that's not a comparable scenario.
Correct, but Tosfos says only that type of case would simanim work. But if two Adim came to testify about an object of mine in your rishus, Tosfos says we would not believe. We would not believe him, which seems to be against our Gemara. Our Gemara says if he wouldn't be blind, right? Oh, we only reject because he was blind. If they wouldn't be blind, our Gemara seems to say we would be motzi adei simanim. They Adim give simanim and it would work. So this is the problem. This is the problem. The fact that you would be motzi adei simanim, right? That itself, if you think about, is we have to touch on this, but we're going to have to get back to this to think about the svara. Again, we have to spend time. That's what the Ksos does. The Ksos, hopefully for the next time, see the Ksos for tomorrow's shir. The Ksos that I gave you goes through each of the Gemaras, or most of them, and think about his answers, how Tosfos deals with each of these. But misvara, should simanim be motzi mamon? Right? What's motzi mamon? Adim can be motzi mamon. Two witnesses who saw that Ruvain stole, who saw that Ruvain borrowed money, they can be motzi mamon. What else could be motzi mamon? Not much. What else could be motzi mamon? One aid can't be motzi mamon. Right? A rove, ein hochen b'mamon achar rove. And yet simanim work. Look at the Gemara. Again, it's in the later part of the Marmakomos, the last one, the Gemara in Elam Mitzias. Simanim da'araisa, simanim da'rabanan. Simanim might be a din da'araisa. Does the Gemara quote a source for simanim? At the beginning of the Gemara does not quote a source. It seems to be a svara. A svara. So is that going to be strong enough to be motzi mamon? Right. So two things we have to do. Number one, think about the svaras. Should simanim work? And if simanim work, then what does that say about the power of simanim to cheskas mamon is one of the strongest chazakas that we have. So we will have to think about that. But specifically, what does Tosfos do with the Gemaras? As you will see, the Ksos torpedoes the cheskas mamon in three different ways. Before you see the Ksos, you can think about the Gemaras. What is unique about all the Gemaras? Our Gemara, Yavamis, Bamitzia. Is there anything wrong with the cheskas mamon in those three cases? The Ksos is going to say yes. Because Tosfos knew the Gemara. Tosfos knew these three Gemaras. So if Tosfos says simanim can be motzi mamon, so Tosfos says simanim cannot be motzi mamon, what do you do with these three Gemaras? Unless you say somehow that in these Gemaras is not being motzi in the normal sense. The chazak is not strong enough in that sense, and that's why it's more, able to be motzi in those cases. So we got to talk about the Gemaras, and we have to talk about the svara. Just one towards the end of the Marmakomos, I gave you a very famous. It's famous if you know it. We'll make it famous in this sugya. Pnei Yoshua. The Pnei Yoshua. Pnei Yoshua and Ksubis. You'll see what he answers, and I gave you a couple of the others. Did I give you any more? I didn't give you. Go look, Rabbo. Go look around for other answers to this Pnei Yeshua's question. The Achronim. Pnei Yeshua asks, if Bari V'Shema Bari Adif. That's a sugya in a few places in Shas. If somebody's sure and if somebody's not sure, Bari wins. then why do you ever need simanim? Why an aveda? I come to you and say, that's mine. And you say, I have no idea. Why don't we say, you give it to him even without simanim? Or even Shema Bariadif. Why do we ever need simanim? Just say, I say it's mine. You say you don't know. So give it to me. So we're going to have to talk about that. That's a yesodistic question on the whole concept of simanim by aveda. We're talking about simanim not by aveda, to be motzi mamon. But we will have to see. Tosfos seems to say simanim is only a din by aveda, right? And that's where it is. But again, we'll have to figure out what these three gemaras are talking about. Okay, questions? I'm sorry I have to